relative morals and relative right and relative wrong. You're the bushman. Don't talk to me, you Hottentot. We've got standards, know what the standards are. They're in the Word of God. She ate. She gave to her husband. He ate because he loved her enough to die for her. Isn't that remarkable? You see what's remarkable about that, Dr. Ruckman? Haven't you ever been by a magazine stand in 1977? Aren't people peculiar? Here somebody said that Genesis 1, 2, and 3 is myth and allegory and legend, and yet it explains what you see in front of your eyes in Kmart. It's weird, isn't it? You know what the most popular themes are on television, radio, movies, books, magazines, and novels? Why, sure, man. Sex and killing. You know what they call it on TV? They call it violence. Do you know what people buy on the newsstand? Stories about love and murder. Didn't you know that? You said I knew that. Well, how do you explain that? Here's a book that explains it. Here's a book that before it goes 3 chapters, it doesn't talk about how to get saved or what to get saved from or how to live or how not to live. It talks about your mouth and your belly and killing and dying and loving someone enough to die for them. But you talk about basics. You talk about basics. If you took off the newsstand and the bookstore, every magazine and paper book and paperback and pocketbook that dealt with love and murder, or love and killing, or sex and killing, but you wouldn't have anything left sitting there but some magazines on gardening and fixing automobiles and buying boats. When we accept the Genesis account of creation, Genesis 1, 2, and 3 as the exact scientific account, we're on grounds that are substantial and demonstrable by empirical methods, about 890% higher than any scientist in the world can demonstrate anything he believes in that runs contrary to it. So we accept the Genesis account of the fall of man, the creation as scientific. We're dealing on a level far above any level where your college teacher has ever been. We're dealing with a level here that explains oral satisfaction, degeneration, old age, death, Bright's disease, Hodgkin's disease, leukemia, and the other 40 that deal with bad blood, man's appetite, man's work habits, man's love habits, women's attitude toward men, women's attitude toward the Word of God, the devil's attitude toward the Word of God. The Word of God is it's related to authority, what is authoritative and what is not, how authority can be overthrown and how it can be obeyed, and what are the results from obeying it, the results from overthrowing it. Would you say it's a pretty good mouthpiece for a book written in 1500 BC?